How does a pro WWE wrestler go from the ring to the stream? Well, we asked DramaKingMatt himself. Here's the story.
It's probably a cliche answer to this one for a lot of people. I mean, COVID, right? Pandemic. We all got locked in. And gaming, for example, that part of it had always been something since I was a kid, kept up with everything. And generally speaking, anyway, it was always a love of mine. But then pandemic came. I was unfortunately let go from WWE. Like there were probably almost 100 people that year, talent alone. So it was just this wave of stuff. Like, so again, so many people around the world were affected. And not only that, then we were also locked indoors. And especially for someone whose career is out doing live events in front of large crowds of people, it was not only just a rough time, but also just like, what do I do with myself? So a good friend of mine, Austin Creed of, G4, Up, Down, Down, of course, also still with WWE and everything like that. He was like, dude, he goes, a bunch of people are hopping on Twitch and stuff like that. He goes, you want some advice? He goes, I've been doing it for a little while. He goes, happy to help you out and everything. And he got me just started with connecting my PlayStation 4 to the internet, just doing the ingrained Twitch integration and just streaming from a PlayStation camera and everything like that, just to try it out. And from there, I think it just, like I said, my career has been live audiences, right? And it tapped into that, having an audience and talking to people. And again, at that point too, I'd already kind of done some of the transitioning to broadcast. So I like describing what I'm doing and how, and with gusto, and again, engaging with an audience. It gave me a chance to do that in a different medium. And it was really cool. So like that, it was one of those things, threw something at the wall, see if it sticks sort of thing. And it really, really stuck. And it was just, I fell in love with that side of it. I tell people all the time, I have a hard time being a fan of anything because I end up wanting to do it. And I think a lot of us feel that. I think it's like, that's what happened with wrestling. I couldn't just be a fan. Like that mindset almost doesn't make sense to me. Don't get me wrong. It is a real thing. There's millions of fans of all kinds of things around the world who just love to enjoy it and consume it. But man, anytime I get that into something, I'm like, how do I do it? Like, how can I be involved with it, like behind the scenes, a little more extra, like deep? So that's kind of what happened with streaming. Again, I tried it and I was like, no, I want to do more of this. I want to, especially building that more intimate community.
You know that engaging and building an intimate community is important for your growth as a creator. That's why this video's sponsor is O. O is a new app that makes it really easy to interact and engage with your audience. And it's got very unique ways where you can create challenges, quizzes. You can have your fans that actually tune in and interact with you and send in their own video submission. And it's also is built by former Twitch executives, so they really understand what it means to create interactivity. You mentioned having Austin and being on Up, Down, as well. Was it a big part of the community? Was there like other gamers or other creators that had kind of branched out and it was like, hey, showing you the ropes? There's like some people that led the way already for you?
Austin, honestly, he was one of the ones. Some of the other guys that I know, like Tyler Breeze, who's done that a lot. Adam Cole was also big in seeing some of the stuff they've done. And from there, it was like, those were my wrestling buddies. So that was like my literal jumping off point, right? Because those were the ones who literally like pushed me to do it and gave me some tips. But then from there, I'm like, oh, okay, so let's get into this. Who are the different streamers or content creators, YouTubers, etc. So then finding different folks like that and just diving into the whole, because it's funny that like streaming is like literally as defined is just live broadcasting to the internet. Netflix is streaming, Paramount Plus is streaming, whatever. That's literally, but the word had grown into its own thing, like you're a streamer or whatever. And it's often tied in, I would say, like a good chunk of the time with gaming and stuff like that. It is, but there's a whole culture, and it has its own celebrities and its own ecosystem and economy and everything like that. It has its own niche and kind of nerddom, if you will, much like some of us for comic books or sci-fi or certain game franchises, etc. So it's kind of funny. So diving into that really led me to down different roads of different creators and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun too.
With doing all the wrestling that you've done, all the storytelling and then live action, and then mix that with all the commentating you've done, how have some of those skills like directly led to you kind of having a competitive advantage or like a great starting point when it comes to being on Twitch?
I mean, one, just public speaking. I spent nearly a decade in front of crowds of thousands and everything like that. And that's not some backdoor flex. It's just that was the reality every single week, right? So there was no period of, like a lot of people have, and it's totally understandable, of, do I use a camera? Do I talk? Do I just play? Do I just do this? It's like, no, throw the camera on, lights, camera, action, let's go. Let's talk to people. I was excited to get to that part, which is a hurdle for a lot of people. Very understandable. But that was not a hurdle I had. It did make engagement easier, just with the people there. You know what I mean? You can give them that live reaction. And I always just wanted to make people laugh. I always just wanted to make people smile. The company motto for WWE is put smiles on faces. That's all. It's literally, I don't care if it was me slipping on a banana peel. That's all I ever really wanted to do.
If you enjoyed that video, watch this one next. And if you want to go pro as a creator, join Pipeline to get the tools and knowledge to be a successful streamer. Just click the link in the description below.